Gentlemen, now I know I made a video on listening to music and, you know, how it enables you to remain in the present moment when you don't listen to music for a long time. It was an experiment that I conducted on myself, so I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, there's a good discussion to be had around that. But just following on from that video, more specifically, music, I do want to make this disclaimer because I feel as though I wasn't, I assume, clear enough in the video. Music isn't inherently bad. There's nothing wrong with music. There's famous musicians and artists that go back decades and centuries, you know, Mozart and etc, etc. So classical music is a way of expressing yourself for a contingent of the population. So I'd never look down upon it. Inherently or innately, it's not a bad thing. But please, for the love of God, my goodness, right? When it comes to music specifically, if you are going to listen to music, which isn't a bad thing, do not listen to sad music or sad boy songs, because I know you guys can resonate on this. I know you guys have gone through that experience, and certainly I can speak from experience as well. When I listen to music, I would listen to music everywhere, whether it was on public transport, walking to the shops, the station, walking to a house, the barber shop, long distance journeys, radio, cars, driving along. It was music, right? Recently I've switched over to podcasts, but of course I used to listen to a lot of music, but especially on my playlist, it was a lot of sad songs. It was things that used to, you know, get under my skin, and it would make me reminisce about the past. And that is such a negative thing, and you need to stop doing this, because words have power. Gentlemen, understand this. Words have power. So when you're sleeping, for example, your conscious mind shuts down. It's your subconscious mind that never sleeps. The problem is when you repeat a song and you listen to a song on repeat, or you keep listening to sad songs, the lyrics eventually, they ingrain into your subconscious mind, especially when you listen to it on a repetitive basis. And you sit there in the car listening to the radio or your playlist, or you're walking along and the beat is sad, the beat dropped, the lyrics, and you sit there all sad. Excuse me, or you might be sat down like me on my desk and you're listening to sad songs, and then you just look, you have your hands on your thighs, you just look down and go, yeah man, it was my fault the entire time, and all the mistakes, all my failures, it's all my fault, I take responsibility, if only things were different. You start reminiscing about the past, and you're in this negative frame of mind, and that is what we're trying to avoid here. Life is difficult as it is. You already have arduous obstacles. You already have goals to achieve. You need your brain and your mind compelled to achieve things. You need full conviction. You need full belief. Sat there and reminiscing about the past and all the mistakes that you made, and sat there going, yeah, it's all my fault. If only I did things differently. It's not helping the cause, especially when you do that on a repetitive basis. You're listening along and you're fantasizing about things that have no relation to the current present moment. It takes you away from the present moment. Stop listening to sad songs. Now, of course, in some occasions, in some settings, we can't help it. I mean, I go to the gym and they play music. Whatever music they play, I'm going to have to firm it. I have to hold that. It is what it is. I have to listen to it. I can't go up to the receptionist and say, can you turn the music off? Because there's about 100 people lifting weights and listening to the music. So it's very selfish of me. I can't do that. But within your control, stop listening to sad songs, because it's not conducive for you. It's not advantageous for you in any sense. There is no ROI. You're not getting any return on your investment. I say this all the time, gentlemen. No matter what you do in life, it doesn't matter what you do. Bad habits, good habits, business, study, exercise, socializing. Always think in terms of ROI. And that obviously stands for return on your investment, right? Now, if I eat a chocolate bar, what's the ROI on that chocolate bar? I've stopped eating chocolate. Well, unless it's 100% dark chocolate, a square here and there isn't bad, even though I haven't had dark chocolate in a while, but I digress. You have a bar of chocolate. What's the ROI? It's not very high. It tastes good for about 3 seconds. It releases dopamine, which again, it's arguable whether that's a good source at all. But that's about it. The negatives completely outweigh the pros. So anything you do in life, quickly do draw up a list in your head, pros and cons. If the cons outweigh the pros, you need to reevaluate and think, why am I doing this? Is doing what I'm about to do conducive? Is it getting me closer to my goals? What's the ROI in me taking this action? Forget chocolate bar. It could be drinking a pint of beer or consuming alcohol for that matter. vaping, smoking cigarettes. I mean, it does sound like I've been smoking because my throat is absolutely finished, but I've never smoked for that matter. But put health to one side, anything, right? Consuming on and scrolling on social media. Now, here and there is fine in moderation, but you need to evaluate your decisions. You need to understand what you're doing, ascertain your purpose, and just think everything in terms of ROI. But going back to the main point quickly, stop listening to sad songs. If you're going to listen to music that's going to uplift you, that's going to lift up the spirit. It could be classical music at a high hertz or a high beat. There's a song that I used to listen to. I'm not, sponsoring it or, promoting it as such, but it was by Bruno Mars, I Want to Be a Billionaire. Now, the reason I liked the song was because of the lyrics. I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad, right? He says a different word, obviously, but hearing those terms about money all the time, when you're listening to it on repeat, it's only going to uplift you. It's only going to be advantageous for you. That's not a sad song. But listening to the sad songs and then sitting there going, it's all my fault, and feeling all depressed and reminiscing about the past, it's not going to help you. Life is difficult as it is. Don't make it more difficult. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be, gentlemen. So hopefully you found value from that. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.